Hey guys, Leah Michelle, Resistance Chicks, back at you. Segment number 3 of January 18th, 2017. We're coming at you with the Planned Parenthood body parts.
Yeah, you guys remember that story where everybody heard about Planned Parenthood selling off hands and feet and tissue and stuff? Well, then, lo and behold, they weren't the ones prosecuted. The stem cell research people, let's see, what was it? STEM Express. The people that were buying the body parts from Planned Parenthood sued the undercover journalist. How this could even come about, that he was going to have to go maybe possibly to jail or according to the federal, let's see, it's actually a criminal. According to federal law, the sale and purchase of human fetal tissue is a federal felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison or a fine of up to $500,000. In August of 2015, Stem Cell Express's request for a gag order was denied, and the CMP released its footage. Less than a month later, Stem Cell's attorney said the company wanted to settle the case. Within a year, however, the attorneys for the procurement company withdrew from representing Stem Express. Stem Express was the first of Planned Parenthood's accomplices to file a retaliatory lawsuit against citizen journalists, and the first to seek an unconstitutional prior restraint on our First Amendment rights to speak and publish. So this lawsuit was dropped at the same time. What was interesting is that this was on January 12th, and then Congress came out really around the same time of January 15th, right?
So 3 days later.
There have been 2 recent investigations into the Planned Parenthood selling baby parts scandal. Both were prompted by the Center for Medical Progress undercover investigation, the CPM we just talked about, who caught Planned Parenthood officials discussing how to illegally profit from selling baby parts. The first report in December was by the Senate Judiciary Committee, and now the House of Representatives Select Investigative Panel has published its report. Neither investigation relied on the CMP undercover videos. Now everybody, especially those View witches, who go around saying, it's been debunked, it's been debunked, it's been debunked.
Nobody's going to know who you're talking about when you say
The View.
The TV show, The View.
Right. This is the Senate, this is the House. They have investigated this. They did not rely on the footage. They carried out their own investigations, interviewing officials and employees under oath and using the power of subpoena to get their records. What they found is horrifying and criminal. It's disturbing that the results have been virtually ignored, and I have to tell you, this has not been shared enough on social media because of the mainstream media blackout of this. So
you'll find it here at Resistance Chicks, and this is actually coming from Breitbart.com.
Yes. So, but you know what? It's not on its front page. It was on it's in its Facebook feed, but now it's not. I mean, like, it's even on Breitbart. Put it back on your
should
page.
Be shouted from the rooftop more than we covered the bikers going to Washington.
Exactly.
You guys, this is where the rubber meets the road. What is important to us? Do we want to just talk about the fanfare, or do we want to get down to real deal? This is atrocious. What is happening?
Here are the top 8 facts, horrifying facts, the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about aborted babies being sold for profit. Number 1, it's wrong to say the pro-abortion crowd didn't value the disabled. Advanced Bio Resources, ABR, had a technician embedded at a Planned Parenthood clinic who reportedly harvested and sold the skin of a Down syndrome baby for $325. Yes, that's correct. In America today, you can buy the skin of an aborted Down syndrome child for $325. The same baby's leg was sold for another $325.
Oh my gosh.
Selling baby parts is very profitable. To be clear, the law is unambiguous. It is illegal to make a profit providing organs to any part of a human for research or medical treatment. But Planned Parenthood and their business partners made a lot of money selling aborted baby parts, according to the report. The House investigation found one case where Stem Express harvested an intact aborted baby's brain at a Planned Parenthood clinic. They reportedly paid Planned Parenthood $55, but sold the brain to a researcher for over $3,000. That's a 2,800% profit. Planned Parenthood reportedly made their money on volume sales and charitable donations from these body harvesting companies.
Oh my gosh.
The Senate investigation published invoices that showed in June 2014 the ABR bought a fetus from Planned Parenthood for $60. From that one fetus, ABR sold its brain to one customer for $325, both of its eyes for $325 each, $650 total, to a second customer, a portion of its liver for $325 to a third customer, its thymus for $325 to another customer, its liver to a fourth customer, and its lungs $325 to a fifth customer. Then the report said they pile on fees for disease screening and shipping. That one aborted baby reportedly brought in $2,275. The House investigative panel found Stem Express generally marked up baby parts by 400 to 600%.
But then if you missed earlier that those same places were giving charitable donations to Planned Parenthood.
Well, I think that what that meant was, maybe you're right about that. I think you're right.
It was saying that it was reporting its profits from those small fees and charitable donations from those companies.
Right. And harvesting exactly what they're doing. The House uncovered how technicians would look at the patient list in advance and try to sell the baby parts before the abortion.
Oh my gosh.
After securing the advanced sale with its massive profits, the technician would then be allowed to go and ask the pregnant woman to sign a consent form. But this is a huge ethical breach. The person seeking consent from a vulnerable patient is supposed to be neutral in the process. In a letter to HHS last June, the panel wrote, "The fact that Stem Express was attempting to interest a customer in fetal body parts before an abortion had taken place raises serious concerns that there may have been coercion or undue influence upon the patient to consent to procurement." Sticks and stones. And like any other business, there can be frustrations between buyers and sellers. The House panel uncovered an email exchange between an excited Stem Express technician and a researcher who wanted to know if she could expect some parts the next day because she needed to book a time in a very expensive research machine. But a baby's body is a frustrating, fragile thing.
Oh.
Rather apologetically, the STEM Express employee told the researcher he had a body, but the calvarium skull is mostly intact, with a tear up the back of the suture line, but all pieces look to be there. The limbs, one upper and one lower, are totally intact, with one upper broken at the humerus and one lower broken right above the knee. Please let me know if these are acceptable. They were. The deal was done and the baby's body, complete with a broken leg and arm, was shipped overnight to the researcher.
You guys, let's think about this. I know a lot of you may be thinking, hey, you know what? Here's the thing. If you're gonna die, or you die unexpectedly, and you want to donate your organs to science or medical research, that's fine. That is your prerogative. You've made that decision. We're talking about children that are otherwise going to be born. Okay? They're alive. They're healthy. They're inside their mother's wombs, essentially. And they're being sold off. This is like an eerie science fiction movie. I don't care at what stage you think life begins. There's a beating heart in there. Okay? And they are selling off its parts before it's even been murdered. Essentially.
It's like that movie, The Island.
It is just like The Island. You guys, and you know why they do that? They put movies out there like that to desensitize us. So that we think to ourselves, well, we've seen it, so it's not as painful.
So, remember Kermit Gosnell, who he delivered some alive babies and then killed them? He's in prison for that.
Good.
But Ruth Bader Ginsburg described him as a rogue, and most people decry him as a criminal, even abortionists, since they say he's just out there. However,
Ruth Bader is a judge, by the way.
Judge.
Yeah.
But when you read the House investigation report, they have interviewed, taken evidence, and secured affidavits from employees and patients of a Texas abortion doctor whose name they have redacted, meaning we don't know who it is. I have made it's like person has made a movie, writing an article about a book about Kermit Gosnell and his 30-year killing spree. And the similarities with this Texas doctor are shocking. According to one employee, the doctor would perform around 40 late second or third trimester abortions every week. Fully formed, a lot of these babies could be born alive. And they were. Get this. Of these abortions, 3 or 4 infants would show signs of life.
Stop it.
3 or 4 out of the 40 a week. Just like Gosnell, the doctor would immediately kill them. Now, this is really, you need to know this. According to the testimony, the employee said he employed Gosnell's technique of snipping the infant's spinal cord with scissors. However, he reportedly also cut the neck with forceps, twisting the infant's head using forceps, or his finger to crush the soft spot of an infant's head.
This is like what you do if you have a piglet that's born deformed.
That's what I was thinking.
It's that kind of callousness.
Sometimes the doctor would also kill by crushing the stomach of the child or inserting his finger down his throat. How in the world did he put his finger down his throat to kill it?
He's a monster. Only a monster can do
But
something
you know
like
what?
that.
You do something, that's the abortion industry is monsters.
But and here's the thing: it doesn't matter whether he's actually doing this as an atrociousness that to a child that's showing signs of life. What is the difference between a child showing signs of life outside of the mother's womb at the same age in which
Laughing, giggling. We've seen the smiling baby. Have you seen the smiling baby?
inside of its mother's womb, they're killing it and doing the same thing? I guarantee you, it is not any less atrocious.
He formed me in my mother's womb.
Before he formed me in my mother's womb, he knew me. That's what God said. God has formed these children in their mother's wombs.
Gosnell, the doctor reportedly would manipulate the ultrasounds to make the babies appear smaller so he could perform illegal late-term abortions.
And you guys, this is not just that's a bad guy that does abortions.
And he had
they're all bad guys.
Staff administering drugs and carrying out abortions. These are people who don't have medical degrees. They had, I know, giving medicines they shouldn't have. So the Planned Parenthood headquarters accused of conspiring to break the law. After the baby selling scandal broke, Planned Parenthood told the media they had a policy that prevented their affiliates from profiting from the process. But they didn't mention that they had brought the policy in just as the CMP scandal developed.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. In fact, this report suggests a criminal conspiracy over the failure to have guidelines before this. According to the Senate Judicial Committee report, in 2001, Planned Parenthood did have a policy stating its clinics had to have an independent accountant verify they were not profiting from the sale of body parts. Those who did not follow these guidelines could be thrown out of the Planned Parenthood network. They were warned. In 2011, when they found their clinics were ignoring the guidelines, Planned Parenthood quietly deleted the guidelines from its requirements. By doing so, Planned Parenthood headquarters made it quite clear that they would not stand in the way of their clinics profiting from the sale of the body parts. And then there's a couple other things. You can read it at Breitbart.com, but this should be highly disturbing. This is more disturbing than the undercover videos. This is a Senate and a House committee
that have actually done, they've investigated and they have found these criminal activities that have taken place. This is not just watching one video of one person having a conversation. This is real data. These are real facts. This is really happening. And I just passed a house in our neighborhood and they're like, I stand with Planned Parenthood. And I'm thinking to myself, are you serious? You're going to stand with the company that sells babies' body parts. You guys, this is disgusting.
So a lot of people will say, yes, but they do good work for women. Now, listen to Paul Ryan here when somebody asked this, because we are in the process of defunding Planned Parenthood permanently, federally. This is very exciting.
So my question...
Are you kidding? What do you mean this video can't be played? Let's try again. Paul Ryan, Planned Parenthood.
Well, if it won't play, we can just tell them what it says.
Let's try one more time.
So my question for you, Speaker Ryan, is if Planned Parenthood is defunded, then where will millions of women, low-income groups, and
it's a good question. First of all, I want to make sure you get the care you need. We want to make sure that all women get the kind of care that they need, like preventative screening and services like you're talking about.
I don't necessarily like Paul Ryan.
We believe that this can better
answer.
be done by putting that money in federal community health centers. Federal community health centers, I have a lot of experience with them myself. They're all throughout Wisconsin. They're in virtually every community. By putting these dollars in the federal community health centers, which provide the same kinds of services, For every Planned Parenthood, there are 20 federal community health centers. They're vastly bigger in network. There are so many more of them, and they provide these kinds of services without all the controversy surrounding this issue.
Can I just ask you, you believe in providing more choice for people when it comes to health insurance, except for Planned Parenthood?
Well, there's a long-standing principle that we've all believed in, and by the way, this is for pro-choice, pro-life people, that we don't want to commit taxpayer funding for abortion. And Planned Parenthood is the largest abortion provider. So we don't want to effectively commit taxpayer money to an organization providing abortions, but we want to make sure that people get their coverage. That's why there's no conflict by making sure that these dollars go to federal community health centers, which provide these services and have a vast larger network than these Planned Parenthood clinics, which are surrounded by a lot of controversy. And we don't want to commit people's taxpayer dollars to effectively funding something that they believe is morally unconscionable. Not everybody believes that, I understand that. But that's a long-standing principle we've had in this country that we want to maintain.
And of course, taxpayer dollars don't fund abortions right now, right? Because of the Hyde Amendment?
Because of the Hyde Amendment.
Right.
But they get a lot of money, and money's fungible, and it effectively floats these organizations, which then use other money. Money's fungible.
A lot.
What that means is they're not allowed to use the federal money to actually pay for an abortion. But guys, it's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna give Leah $500. She's not allowed to use it to buy a brand new Gucci purse, right? Not that Leah would do that, but this is just a good example, okay? But now she's got $500 extra, so she can say, well, I spent the $500 that you gave me to buy a bunch of feed for our pigs, but she's got $500 left over, and she can still go buy a Gucci purse.
So I want people to really understand this about Planned Parenthood. They are not a health clinic. They're not a medical clinic. Okay, they are it's like going into a cellular phone store and expecting to
Be able to buy a TV or
all of your electronics there.
Right.
Okay, if you go into Best Buy, you can get your cell phone, you can get TV, you can
get
you
your
can
sound system, you can get your
wash
computer.
your dryer. I mean, you can get stuff. Okay, so what he's saying is that if you can go into a community health center, which actually will help you if you've got
a common cold.
yeah, any sort of number of issues, whereas Planned Parenthood's number of issues that they cover is this big. Okay, they say women's reproductive health, but they don't have OBGYNs. They don't help you if you want to bring your baby to term. You can't go in there and get medical health checkups for as you're developing your baby.
Right.
They should be called Women's Unreproductive Center. Their only job, their only reason for existing
Is to keep babies from being born.
that's it. And so you can go in, you can get a pap smear. You can go in, but you can't get a mammogram. They don't have mammogram machines. When they say they have cancer screenings, I think you can get a pap smear there. I'm not sure. But that is it's the only thing that they can do, right? They can't prescribe you medicine if you've got an earache.
But they
They're
can prescribe
not-
birth control.
They're not a medical facility. The only medicines that they're handing out are birth control. Their number one service that they make their money off of
Is abortions.
is abortions. They make millions. That's their only reason for existing is abortion.
Right.
Their only reason. So these other a la carte things.
Right.
It's like I went to pump gas today. Had a little sign that you could buy cell phone accessories for $5. It's an a la carte thing to make a little extra money or to make them,
Right.
the tiny little things that women don't go in there if they've got a problem. Like, I'm really feeling sick today. Could you check me out? Well, does it have to do with your nether regions and you not wanting to have a baby? Well, no. Well, I'm sorry. You have to leave.
Right.
This is not about women's health. And when Paul Ryan is saying, let's put money, if you're going to do anything, you might as well put it to a community health center where you go in and you can't even get a physical, I don't think, at a Planned Parenthood.
Oh, forget it. No way.
Doctors sign off. I don't even know if they have doctors there full time. I think, only there for abortion day or something.
You guys have to understand what birth control does. It actually teaches your body to kill and to make your womb and to make everything inside of you inhospitable for a child. It teaches your body to do something that goes against nature. All right, so it's actually not a medicine. It's the opposite
Right.
of a medicine, teaching your body to go against something that is completely natural.
Right.
And it's not even that this natural thing is harming you.
Right.
Because some people are ill and they've got things that their body is kind of doing naturally too much, and then like, okay, let's say you oversweat and you use an antiperspirant or you take a medicine to stop your body from oversweating. This is not even that kind of thing. You guys, if you have sex, you have babies. It's that simple. And by making the repercussions of
Yeah,
sexual
right, so-
activity nothing and nil, we've just given everybody a free card, and everybody
So-
says, you know what, people have always had sex. And we have said it over and over and over again. People call us crazy. If you watch this long, then maybe you won't think we're so crazy. But people have said it over and over again. You guys, they've always had sex. They've always had sex. You know what? Yes, people have always had sex outside of marriage, but that percentage was so small because the repercussion was that you would get pregnant and everybody would know about it, and your life would be altered. Not ruined, but completely altered. By taking that away, you have given in, and now we have all these diseases that are spreading so rampantly everywhere.
I think one of the number one things for the walk-in for the when I talk to people who work at hospitals is for sexually transmitted diseases, so they can get their free
Right.
syphilis medicine.
This is why
or
God
something.
designed it this way. You're going
Gonorrhea.
against the way that God designed it. He knew that this would happen if people just started sleeping around all of the time, that diseases were going to spread and people were going to start wanting to kill their infants. So everybody's so upset about, they show these pro-choicers, show these babies being killed by hangers and all this stuff. They love to show that sort of thing. But guys, it's circular reasoning. It goes in a circle, and it's got to be stopped. This is not, Planned Parenthood is not the answer to fix the problem. Okay?
They're part of the problem.
Exactly.
We can go on and on about this. We probably will. So
It's
they
not.
are making money off of.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what
Hands
this story is
down.
about, making money off of babies. STEM Express making thousands of dollars.
Millions.
And that
It
callousness,
adds up.
your brokenness. They call right wingers Nazis. You have to have a Nazi mindset to
To just
sell.
kill and throw
I have
bodies
a
in a
liver.
pit.
How much can I make off of it? I have some skin. How can I make
Right.
off of
And
it?
as a matter of fact, the Nazi scientists did do this on the bodies of the Jews when they had died. They did. So that's Nazism, guys.
Yep.
That's where it's at. And I hate to end this on like a negative note, but you guys, we
Yeah.
got to get
Not
real.
sad.
We will be
Sad.
real with you, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. We're going to bring you the truth.
Real truth.
This is the Resistance Chick signing off, where it's
not
not
a
a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe to Resistance Chicks and Mass Faith 3, where you get, at Mass Faith 3, you will get more how-to videos for our farm. How do you be a resistance chick, man, rooster, whatever you want to call yourself. We're going to show you those sort of things on Mass Faith 3. So we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.
I was cold all alone, no place for home. Every day, so afraid. But you called my name, turned my eyes to the lies. I was cold